It is the 26th of December in game, and I'll tell you what, it's a Boxing Day clash of the bottlers. You can see our recent form here. No wins in our last 4. And as for Barnsley, well, they were bottling it, weren't they, last episode? They've started to win now. They're breathing down our necks. The top 4 teams in League One are separated by 2 points. I mean, Wigan are only a point behind 2. It's close to the top. I'm getting scared. Let's run the intro. We've got to talk about the recent form. Yes, folks, I hope you guys are having a lovely Tuesday. Welcome back to the channel. Like I said, Wanderers v Barnsley is the first game today. Second game today, not so sexy. Exeter. Look, they are a team in League 2. They're doing well in League 2. I'm going to use that as a chance to play the B team that you don't usually get to see. But first and foremost, let's discuss the elephant in the room, and it's a bloody big elephant. Look at this. Yeah, it's not been good. After that draw against Cardiff last episode, we actually got off to an okay run of games. Win against Carlisle was good. Aaron Ramsey, 2 goals on his debut. If you stuck around to the end of last episode, you saw him sign for us. He's been pretty good so far. I mean, 4 goals in 9 games, good enough. But since then, it's not been great. A draw against Rochdale, a team in the league below us in the FA Cup first round, meant that we had to play them in a replay that we did eventually win. But between, well, then and now, it's not been good. 1-0 against Wrexham, Dane Scarlett with the goal. Another 0-0, this time against Bolton. Not a bad result when you consider the wider context. Bolton, very good this year. We were, however, defeated by Crawley Town in the EFL Trophy in the next game. Good news, we still made it out the group, so the game didn't really matter. And from there, well, we played okay for a run of games. A win against Shrewsbury, 3-1. Like I said, we scraped by against Rochdale on penalties. Not convinced by that, but wins against Notts County, 3-1, 4-0. Ramsey scoring in both of these. Joe Taylor, Joe Geldhart, he's been in some okay form, or at least he was for those 2 games. Since then, less impressive, but it really has been the month of December where things have kind of undone themselves. We managed to win in the EFL Trophy knockout round, second round against Colchester 3-0, but from there, 1-1 against Wrexham was bad. A result, to be fair, where I want to say we were robbed by an 85th minute goal, but as you can see by the stats here, it wasn't exactly a one-sided game. And from one disappointing result to an even more disappointing result, Reading at home back us to win this. McGuane scored what, to be fair, was a banger. Sharman Lowe in goal for this game. Anson got a minor injury again, which was annoying. After that, we drew against Blackburn and lost against Colchester. This loss against Colchester, 1-0, even game. Maybe more on the unlucky side. Ajaria injured in this one. Out for 8 days to 3 weeks. And I suppose this is a good time to address the problem as of late. Injuries. And a lot of them. Probably the best way to look at things here is the injury history here. This is last season, the dash line versus this year. We had 6-month injuries in October, 6 in November, 7 in December. Yeah, the injuries have just been a massive, massive problem. If I just sort them by date as well, you can kind of see the more recent ones here, but even dating back further, Andy White's actually had 2 injuries, missed 9 days for a gashed upper leg. Dane Scarlett was injured, I think, for 2 or 3 weeks as well. Yeah, it's tricky. I feel like we've started to get some of the attackers that were injured back into the team. Now the defenders have decided it's their turn to get hurt. I want to use the injuries as an excuse, but I do feel like fundamentally we have just got a bit unlucky. When you look at the XG table, yeah, we could be higher than second. Besides the Aaron Ramsey transfer, by the way, no transfers yet. I've been looking to get in Alfie Devine, and, well, I had him on trial, actually. He agreed to join us on trial, and he looked good on trial, but his wage demands remain unreasonable. I mean, has he changed his wage demands now? Important player. I don't want a minimum release clause in any deal I give him. £9,000. I just can't afford it. I think I can't even afford, like, more wages if I wanted to because of the wage cap either, sadly. It's frustrating because he'd be a great little addition to the team, give us a bit more depth in the midfield. Adozzi's a player who's burst onto the scene as a potential player who I'd like to sign. But yeah, the finances, the wage cap, they are a problem. But you know what? With the merry band of men that we've signed so far, we're kind of doing okay. Let's hope we can continue to do okay in this game against Barnsley. In terms of team news, mentioned it. Matos is injured. Of course, JB got injured last episode. Was it last episode he got injured in? Was it after last episode? He got injured in a game against Shrewsbury, but it wasn't the one we did in the video. It was actually the next game I had against them away from home. I didn't even talk about this injury. This was probably the worst of the bunch. We won 3-1 in this game. I was really happy about it, but JB out for 3 months. Torn muscles. Never good. I feel like I always go on about JB and Matos in midfield. I feel like perhaps that's the bigger indicator of where issues have been. The midfield battle just hasn't really been won. I think for this game, I'm going to play George Marsh over Burgess, or Burgess. Apologies to the Burgess fans. This guy, I'm trying to give some game time to. With the injuries we've had at defensive midfielder, there's a chance to try and develop him, and giving him those minutes, he has started to develop a little bit. Alongside him, Flood at Registon now basically becomes an essential part of the team. He has to step up and fill JB's boots. But yeah, even at the rest of the team, Egbo's going to be at right wing back, Pye's going to be at left wing back. The back three's the same. Anson's in goal. Up top, well, Geldhart is going to play at striker for us as a pressing forward. I did have an issue, of course, with Andy White being injured. I suppose it's good that Geldhart can play at pressing forward and that we sign Ramsey, because it's meant that this has been the kind of go-to front three. The sooner we get Andy White back, the better. The more I'm looking at things, the more I realise the recent run of form is just a concoction of injuries, isn't it? But you know what? Every team has injuries. They come at different points in the season. Sometimes they get stacked up like ours have lately. It's how you deal with them. We have a very makeshift look to our team. I feel like the midfield is normally our best area, with AA out on left back. You've got Ajaria at right back, Matos, JB in the midfield. All four of them out. Andy White injured as well. Yeah, today's going to be tough. A defeat here as well, and we would slip out the top 2 spots in the league and those automatic promotion spots. As a reminder, Ramsey, our centre attacking mid, he has a release clause if we're not promoted. Right, Pye. To be fair, Pye's been quite good when we've called upon him. The injury to Allen only happened lately, so he's not had a run of games in the first team. I think there is a little bit of match sharpness lacking on some of these squad players, but what better time to get that squad sharpness back and that team fitness back than in these big games where typically we've played quite well this year against the big boys. Egbo, Scarlett, shot blocked. Right, Joe on his wonderful left foot. He is the best deliverer of a ball on his left foot in the team. Hasn't shown it there, has he? I've really jinxed him there. 10 minutes left to the half. It's not been a classic today, and now they've got a corner. We conceded corners last night. It's happened again. We conceded goals last episode against Cardiff from corners. And to be fair, we've not conceded that many corners lately. It's whenever I come back for a video and it's start record, the players forget how to jump. Anson's not covered himself in glory there. I mean, it's going to make the team talk at halftime that little bit more shouty, which is frustrating because I don't feel like we've been awful in this game. I mean, you know what? No, we have been awful. We've not done enough in this game. I'm tempted to go for a really radical shake-up early on. I hope this isn't viewed as an overreaction. I just don't like what I've seen in this game here, and I feel like a 4-2-4 is probably the way to go. Okay, this is how we're going to line up here. Ramsey's going to play out on the left-hand side as an inside forward, cutting in on his stronger foot. Voltman is going to play as a winger. Voltman has been so disappointing, just hasn't really stepped up to League One life, but he's one of the few wider options I've got on the right-hand side. Elsewhere, Geldhard, Scarlett, up top alongside one another. Obviously, maybe a little bit of a gap in the middle to worry about. I have got the looks for, well, underlap on the right-hand side active. Hopefully that will just see Marsh get into that space. This might feel like a monumental overreaction, but I just look at the chances we've created. We've had 0 shots on target, and I'm definitely going to forgo some defensive strength by making these changes. That is a rebound from a free kick. I mean, that's just an unfortunate goal, but there's only so much bad luck you can have before you just have to accept. Masters of your own downfall. Connell shoots. Are we watching just me lose the plot live? We might be. Our recent run of form has been frustrating. I knew this game was going to be tough. I guess it's the nature of the goals we've conceded in this game, combined with the injuries we've had, the bad luck we've had. It just feels like it's really stacked up. If we can get the rub of the green, I still feel like we can challenge at the top of this division. We need some inspiration. Flood hits the outside of the post. There's 20 minutes left here. They have done very, very little. We've done equally as little in this game, it has to be said. Right, changes needed. Corey Gerrard coming on for Ramsey, who's been very, very poor today. Going to bring in Burgess into the midfield for some fresh legs. And to be honest, I'm looking at Ashley Fletcher thinking, am I this desperate? Back from his long-term injury, you might remember he got it at the start of the year, the hip injury. Missed 3 months of it. He has declined massively as a player, the 32-year-old. But you know what? I feel like in a game like today, why not just roll the dice and go for it? Well, we're trying to go for it. We're not really creating anything, but with 10 minutes left, maybe an opportunity here. Egbo whipping it in. Gerrard was lurking at the back post. Pi needs to provide some inspiration. Normally those players that provide that spark, that bit of quality in those deeper areas that make our system work, they're just not present at the moment. We've tried to change up the system. It's just not really worked. Service has been poor. Creativity's been lacking. But a goal here maybe gives us a chance of a late comeback. Ball whipped in. Egbo. Burgess. Flood. Scores. Carl Flood, he hit the woodwork earlier. That was a warning. This time he's made them pay. Burgess with a little intelligent pass here. Flood pulled the trigger first time. Cox nowhere near it. I've just encouraged the players and there's green happy smiley faces all along the bottom. Is there though that all important goal? At this point, let's go to very attacking. Go slightly more direct. In transition, get it to the flanks and take long kicks there. Out of possession, get stuck in, step up more. 5 minutes to just try and force something. Chance maybe for us here. A draw, I believe, well, it wouldn't necessarily, but it would hopefully maybe give us a chance of holding on to second. Instead, Connor Pye's going to get sent off. I can't believe what I've seen. I just want to cry. I mean, at this point, I'm just going to go to 3 centre-backs, no wing-backs, and operate off vibes. There's 6 minutes of added time here. I'm still playing so attacking, just trying to get something to happen, and sadly, it's just not going to work out for us. They had good chances. Their XG is massively inflated from the tap-in off the back of the free kick where the keeper was on the ground. I mean, Flood's picked up man of the match. It was a game that didn't really have any quality, but Barnsley have got the results. With that there, we drop down to 4th. 16 games left of the year, still plenty of football to be played. I need the big guns back, and I need them back now. I just realised Pi is now suspended, isn't he? And AA is injured for the next 6 days to 2 weeks. I actually don't know what other left wing backs I've got besides Egbo. I mean, I guess Egbo plays left back. Marsh has to play right back and Burgess comes in. You know what? I've got a week to figure this out. Next up, we've got Exeter. They're in the division below us. It's the FA Cup 3rd round. Surely we win this one. I know what you're thinking, Jack. Why have you come back midweek? Matos, it's a cold. He's out for 2 weeks. Corey Gerrard's out for 7 to 8 weeks. He's broken his back. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. I should point out, if you were wondering, Jack, why are we coming back for the Exeter game? I bookmarked it in as part of my planning for recording today because it was the FA Cup 3rd round and I thought we'd get a sexy game. So, with respect to Exeter, not all that sexy, but they were relegated from League One last year, so it's far from a done deal, especially with how we've been lately. In fact, I wasn't really panicking that much about the form until I got this, the emergency recruitment meeting in response to recent bad form. Never seen this before. Made me panic a little. For context here is blocked out what I'd consider our best 11. The 4 players that make up the core of the team, all unavailable. It's not ideal. There's so many injuries that I'm actually struggling to fill out the bench a little bit. This is what we're going to go with the team. Egbo has to play left back. Marsh has to play right back. If I get another injury or suspension in the wing back area, it's a problem. Up top, though, Andy White is back. I actually need to remember, I need to keep playing Andy White as an advance forward and not the pressing forward. Apparently, when I loaned him, I promised that we'd give him the playing role of advance forward. I don't want to have him recalled by Burnley. Anyway, this is the team for the game. You know what? The back 3, the goalkeeper, are all, well, the normal, regular suspects. I think the issue is that in order to link our really good attackers with our really good defence, you need a midfield, especially with the system that we play. It's quite reliant on having players capable of carrying the ball, getting passes from deep, because you are naturally going to have them sit that a little bit deeper, especially early on in play. And the backups that we have, I think it's safe to say, especially when they're all in the team at once, they're just not of League One level. Let's see if we can turn things around here. Against a team that, let's be honest, are not League One level. They were relegated last year. This should be simple. Okay, Egbo on the far side. Of course, he's playing at left wing back. He can play there, but he's very, very right-footed, so crossing might be difficult for him. But we've worked the ball nicely here, and Aaron Ramsey scores. You know what? I'm going to find some positive. So Aaron Ramsey is averaging a goal every other game, which is a centre attacking mid. is a really bloody good return. Afforded some time and space in the middle. I was hoping for this game that we could have Corey Gerrard play that position in the team against his former club. Obviously, he broke his back. So that fairy tale return to his hometown team just hasn't happened today. Free kick, Andy White. Andy, do something handy. The rebound to Ramsey's on. Or... oh, you could just pass it, shoot. I don't know why he shot first time there. He could have just taken a touch and got it out. It was a great ball by Andy. The rest of it, we're going to try and forget. Edmondson, throw in. Andy White with it. Back to Edmondson. Or playing a defensive mid, Flood. Georgie Marsh, normally a defensive mid, can play right wing back. Not the most mobile, but it's where he has to play today. Or floats it in. Over everyone. Egbo keeps it alive. Crosses it back across. Andy White nods it down. And Ramsey probably could have, maybe should have had a hat-trick in this game already. Lewis with the goal kick, launches it. Andy White wins it well. Ramsey, come on, mate. You can score here. I mean, he's had a number of chances already. Just needs to start converting them. He might have another here. One-on-one, scores, is offside. He could have had 4 goals. It's not even an exaggeration, is it? 4 minutes left of the half. I mean, it's still a 1-goal game. Exeter have created a little bit in this game, but we've had a significantly more of the ball than we had in the last game. Marsh runs straight into McMillan there, who's now going to look to switch the play from one side to the other. Egbo might be called into some defensive action here as Pearson brings the ball on the far side for Exeter City. They are holding on in this game for now. They've had chances against them. They've survived them. They're looking to spring a counter-attack, but, well, we might be able to do that. They've committed men forward. It's whipped in. It's Aaron Ramsey. It's Dane Scarlett with the assist. And a fun little finish. How was this volley, by the way? Ramsey, wapow. It's like kung fu action. It's 2-0. Of course, now they've got a set piece in our corner, and I'm just getting PTSD flashbacks to the last few games. And I want to cry. Even when we're winning, it's upsetting. I mean, corners, throw-ins, free kicks, the full shebang. Just the only way we seem to concede. Half-time in this game, I'm getting shouty. I'm far from pleased. Ramsey, you know what, mate? You've done okay. Well, give him a little cuddle, pump fists, keep going. He's confused and demotivated. It's fine. I mean, he's confused and demotivated. I'm confused and demotivated based on the recent form. It's a perfect match. Right, can we score a corner? Mbete whips it in. Ramsey's under it. It's headed away. Only as far as Dane Scarlett, who's going to look to keep the play alive here. Lays it back across. Marsh is the right wing back and has lost the ball. Not in the best area there. Fortunately for us, they're not in a position to capitalise. And now we're looking to get the ball forward again. Of course, Ramsey currently on for a hat-trick. That would be fun if he could get that here. They've pumped the ball once down the middle. Low. Shoots. Anson makes a save, and I'm very relieved he's made one. Andy White coming back from injury does scare me a little bit. I'm going to bring in Gelhardt, I think, and play him at pressing forward. And we'll move Dane Scarlett across. Elsewhere, the temptation to bring in JB is real. He's not fit enough to play. I shouldn't do it. I'm not doing it. I would like to apologise if I'm coming across as a bit negative today. Do you ever have those bad days in Football Manager? This is one of those days where if I didn't play Football Manager for a living and record videos for a living, probably just wouldn't play the game for the day. Does anyone have days like that? Maybe I'm overinvested in my save game. I feel like that's a good problem to have. Anyway, we're on the attack here. You know what, lads? Give me something to be happy about. Egbo, inspire me, surprise me. He lays it inside to Zakor, back to Egbo, who has options short. Mbete's there. I mean, this is nice. This is pretty. Egbo, Mbete, the three at the back system does produce some really nice football. This is gorgeous, lads. This is sexy. Gelhardt scores. You know what? I love this game. Forget everything I just said. Football Manager's the best. I would play it today in a heartbeat again. Did worry that as the ball fell to Joe here, he was just going to smash it over or do a really bad finish on his weaker foot. Actually, picked out the top corner perfectly. Ramsey bringing the ball forward, lays it across to Gelhardt, has a goal to his name. Ramsey, of course, on for the hat-trick. At 3-1, it feels like we can maybe relax just that little bit more, but another goal would not hurt. Flood. Back to Mbete, who's going to bring the ball forward. Egbo, Scarlett. The passing sensational. The save was great at the end of it. I'm sad that that wasn't a goal because it would have been a goal of the season contender. We see so many set pieces scored against us. Could we maybe score one here? Not on this occasion. It's headed away. And I assume the highlight's going to end. I've played Football Manager a little bit. I know how it works. Okay, I do want to see out this game. Orr's having a good game, but I think like fresh legs might be the name of the game. You know what? I'm going to take off Flood. Burgess is going to come in at defensive midfielder. Deborah, still around, is going to come in for Edmondson, who's struggling a little. Elsewhere, I'd like to make some changes in the rest of the defence and the midfield, and I just can't. There's too many injuries for that to be an option. They've now switched to the 4-2-4 that I played last game. Imagine being that desperate. That'd be cringe, wouldn't it? If they get one goal back, I might start to panic slightly. Aitchinson to Pearson. Back to Aitchinson. His shot is blocked. Cole is going to look to keep it alive here. This ain't away from danger yet. Egbo kind of half heads it away, but they are still very much on the offensive. Taylor, Aitchison, Thompson shoots. It can't happen, can it? Can it? Exeter 2, Wanderers 3. We're at home. We shouldn't ever be in this kind of situation, even with the backup players. They're just devoid of confidence. I need to try and encourage the players here and give them some green, happy, smiley faces to see out this game. And none of them are green and happy or smiley. They all look sad. But there's 4 minutes left and we're holding on. He says. That could be famous last words. We've dominated this game. We've had double their XG for what it's worth. They've had chances, to be fair to them. They've had significantly more of the ball. What are we doing? Sorry, lads, what are we doing? What are we... Please, Football Manager, please stop this. Burgess to Ramsey to Orr. Zach, I don't care where it goes as long as it's not in our goal. Joe, lovely pass there to Burgess. This is nice. This is more pretty football. Marsh, options inside. Pulls it straight back to Thompson, and now they're looking to hit us on the counter. They've got one of Snow White's friends there up top for them. Not sure if they're ever going to win a ball and a battle in the air. And now a penalty's been given. Lads, just deliver it. Get us into the 4th round of the FA Cup. Would be significant to go on an FA Cup run. You know, some money would never go amiss. Dane Scarlett delivers. Down the middle he goes. It's 4-2. Breathe, everyone. I say it like you're all getting as worked up and as annoyed as I am with Football Manager. I know that's not the case. It's just a me problem. It's a skill issue. But you know what? Finally, we've won a game. Our first win in 5 or 6. It is in far too many. It doesn't matter. A win is a win. We win in the 3rd round. Aaron Allen wants to transfer to Fulham. Mate, now is really not the time to do this. Aaron Ramsey picked up man of the match. He's actually been putting in some low-key good performances. Even when we've been struggling, he's not been the worst player on the pitch on too many occasions. And I suppose that's not entirely surprising. He is far too good for this level. I don't know about anyone else. I just want to know who we're going to get now in the FA Cup 3rd round. But I'm not going to get there yet because I'm getting loads of bids for my players that I really don't want to sell. 1.8 million for Kingdon. You know what? His transfer valuation suggests he should be worth a lot more than that. I'll wait for a bigger bid. January's a long time. Don't really want to sell him if I can avoid it. Offers made for Ajaria. No. I mean, this might be what January is. Next episode, we might be coming back at the end of the month for deadline day. I can already tell that might be a thing. Of course, we have also got the FA Cup 4th round. I'm not sure when this draw happens. Probably coming back for whatever game this is. 32 teams remain in the draw. Yeah, the big boys are all still here. Okay, let's see if we come out early. If not, you're going to have seen significantly less of this than I'm going to have to bear witness to. Doncaster. Is there a less inspiring FA Cup 4th round game than Doncaster v Wanderers? If there is, I'm not familiar with it. We're not going to have to worry about it. Wickham. Please not Wickham. No one wants to play Wickham. I mean, it's a good draw for going on a run in the FA Cup, but it's pissing Wickham. We've won the last 3 times we've played Wickham. I feel like that's a game that we probably should be winning. It's a team in our division. We could get to the FA Cup 5th round. That would be quite some achievement. I mean, it sounds impressive to hear the teams that we've played, but you can only beat the teams played in front of you. That game is at the end of January, isn't it? Yeah, Wickham and Derby. I can already tell you they're going to be the games next episode. I hope you're excited. I would like to point out that some of my negativity in this video is kind of meant to be with jest. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's meant to be fun. I feel like sometimes you guys enjoy watching me have a meltdown and struggle. What an awful month December's been. Maybe now this result here can help turn things around. Barring, of course, any of my players potentially being poached. Which feels like it could be a possibility the way things are going. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do. Go down below, leave a like. We're back tomorrow to end the week with a bang. It's the FA Cup 4th round. 4-4. Getting carried away. We could be in the 5th round. Come back tomorrow to see if we can do it.